There's a scene in Family Guy where Brian goes and finds President George W. Bush sitting in a treehouse, and he's like, George Bush, like, Hurricane Katrina just happened. Like, can you come help some people out? And George Bush goes, no, I'm reading Super Fudge. And Brian's like, there are like millions of lives potentially at stake here, or something like that. And he goes, don't make me do stuff. Don't make me do stuff. Not necessarily to the same degree as in that scenario, but I definitely relate to Mr. Bush. Don't make me do stuff is something I say to myself all the time as a little poke at just how lazy I can be. I've always thought that, like, the ideal job is one where you don't have to do very much or practically anything, and you just occasionally turn to your work, and then the rest of the time you can go back, la-di-da, whatever. The thing is, I've had that kind of a job. Like, a lot of my adulthood has been that kind of a job. It's not really been that way anymore in the past year. But yeah, I had even like an office job that was virtual, where I could work from home, and I had the like work phone, like I just plugged it into my router, and then I just plopped myself in front of the TV, and I would watch movies or TV shows or YouTube videos, and just occasionally answer the phone, and it didn't get a ton of calls. I mean, the last hour or two, sometimes you'd get literally no calls on a slow day. And you'd think that by that standard that I had set, I would be so incredibly happy with life, but I honestly wasn't, because I'd get wrapped up in some other activity or watching a movie or something like that, and the phone would ring, and literally every single time I'd be like, oh, son of a, I'd say some curse words out loud, pick up the phone and be like, thank you for calling this company. This is Joe. How can I help you today? But it's just, I find that so funny that I was given so much freedom, and all that I could focus on was the fact that I still had to do some work sometimes, and that would be so frustrating for me. It's like, unless I have absolute, complete freedom to do whatever I want to, I can't give myself permission to be happy at a job. It's almost worse when I get a whole lot of freedom in a job, because it just accentuates the work that I do have to do because there's so little of it. If I have to answer just one call in that hour, that one call feels like it's really taken me away. Like, I start to feel entitled to my free time, even while I'm getting paid to be doing something. It's just funny. And like, there'll be days at work where there'll be hours at a time where anybody who comes in, I'll just get really aggressive in my head, not toward them. I'm pretty good at keeping a good face for customer service. But I'll just be like, oh, gosh, you just came up here. You just needed my help, didn't you? I just want to flip them the big old peace sign. But seriously, I keep repeating, even if I'm not going to say it directly, don't make me do stuff. Don't make me do stuff. Even when I'm getting paid for it, just like the very bare basics of what I'm asked to do just feel like so much effort. And it really doesn't matter how little you bring it down to. That will still frustrate me. But it's interesting because it's very paradoxical that you actually achieve a greater state of well-being when you have a job or an activity, whatever, that you are fully immersed in. It's what's called the state of flow. It's not off-the-wall excitement. It's just full immersion in what you're doing. The Power of Full Engagement is a really great book about this. Same with Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. The brain doesn't really know what's best for you, and it desires things that aren't ultimately going to make it happy. It's very interesting. But yeah, I'm just glad that I have that little self-referential, little, I don't know, little quip of just don't make me do stuff. There's literally not a limit to how lazy I can be when left to my own devices. That is one of the major benefits of when I go through these phases where I post daily, is it just eradicates some level of that feeling of laziness. I can't honestly call myself lazy when I'm producing at such a consistent level. Even if what I'm producing is just talking about how much I don't want to be making this on this particular day.